What's up, Devils? J-Dog back to answer some more goddamn questions. First, got one goddamn quick order question. That's one I would normally skip because I don't have much to say about it, but you put it in a goddamn order, so you get a fucking more of a chance to answer. And it's something I haven't answered or a band I haven't talked about, so give you guys an idea of somebody to check out. Peter Slade, hey J-Dog, can't give enough thanks for the work on the channel. For that, brah. Did you ever listen to / have any thoughts on Windir? I don't know if I'm pronouncing that. Windir. So if I'm saying that wrong, I'm saying it, but Winder. That's how I fucking pronounce it. Always thought it was one of Norway's best creative outputs. Makes Emperor look like kid stuff. You know what's funny is I don't know if it's just recent pressings or what, because I don't know a ton about them, just the name, and I knew they were somewhere over there in the Scandinavia area. We were selling their shit, and it's just titles I can't pronounce and stuff like that. Didn't look interesting enough that to check them out. Now that you mention them, put on the goddamn player. You know what I mean? Because when I see that shit, I'm like, okay, a name I can't pronounce, title I can't fucking pronounce. Nobody up my alley fucking said I should check them out or shouldn't check them out. Never really, nothing stumbled across me on my own. And just looking at it, just looks like a bunch of forest worshippers to me. I'm not saying that they fucking are. I'm just saying by the cover and just glancing, knowing nothing about it, flipping through shit, you see it. It just nothing grabbed me by the fucking throat and said, "Spit me, dog." So I never did. So don't know much about them. I just figured forest worshipping black metal. That's what I assume. But now that you mention it, maybe I'll toss in the goddamn player. Now I don't have a whole hell of a lot of goddamn high hopes. I'm going to sit there and say that because a lot of that just mid-tier, even later Norwegian black metal, I just kind of like, I just don't fucking care. I mean, obviously I like stuff from Norway. I'm not saying that I don't. Obviously I do. But a lot of it, kind of like the classics I like. Trying to even think, what is a later band from Norway that I like? I mean, with the exception of like Gouge or something. But I don't even count that because that was a death metal band that what Norway's known for. Let's say Norwegian black metal. Shit, I never even actually stopped to think about it. Who would be a later band, even in the last 10 years, that I like? And if that, and other than that, who would be the latest band? Is the latest band that I like from 1998, 2000? Is it even the 2000s? I'm sure there's something I'm totally thinking, but nobody's coming because when I think of Norway, I'm thinking the classics. The fucking Immortals, the goddamn Mayhems, the classic shit, the early Emperor stuff, and I do like that. But yeah, even the later stuff. Then again, and a lot of the guys like. From the big boy bands, Member did this, fucking Satire went and did this. Most of that shit, I mean, actually, to be completely honest, most of it I never listened to, but the stuff that I have heard, I didn't for the most part, didn't like. Um, I guess who would you guys say the Kings then? Give me some ideas to spin, knowing my taste too. Don't come in here saying anything that fucking sounds like The Covenant or whatever. Now, that Covenant album with the fucking sea, I thought that was fucking great. Who's some recommendations, I guess, is stuff like Winder or whatever. And I have listened to some like later ones. It just seemed like, I don't know, when the bands were starting around 1994 up, give or take 94, 95, 96, most of the bands that were starting at that time and up, I just generally didn't like it. Seemed like. Again, I'm sure a lot of them I haven't heard of them. They're maybe ones I've never fucking heard of that are good. So yeah, I guess put some good Norwegian black metal checkout picks there for the goddamn dog. Again, don't say anything fucking stupid like Emperor or something. No, fuck. I'm already fully aware of that. Something that I might not know, or something I've never brought up, something like that. Anyways, next goddamn video online that we're doing questions over 2 weeks ago. How many people at a Cannibal Immolation Incantation show would not be able to name 5 songs? Question mark. Let's see what the fucking devils have to say about it. God damn it. I'll just go for question marks and see if they have anything to say about that. Don't even know. Walter Thompson. Incubus Beyond the Unknown is one of the best albums in the history of death metal. I don't know if I consider a death metal album. Would you consider a death thrash? What is your opinion? I would consider it more just a straight up thrash album, Beyond the Unknown, because Serpent Temptation was just more like a violent thrash, similar to stuff like Pleasure to Kill. And I'd even consider that like a death metal. You can argue that death thrash, but Beyond the Unknown, I just considered it just a straight fucking thrash metal album that kind of had some fucking some oomph to it, maybe something similar in the vein, kind of maybe like a Demolition Hammer, something comparable to that. Um, I mean, I think it's a great fucking record. As a matter of fact, that's the first one I heard. I had the digipack version of it, and that it's kind of like the half-ass version that came out in the early 2000s, and I've always liked it. And then I heard Serpent Temptation later. See, I remember for these years, Serpent Temptation was out of print for fucking ever. Now, I did get an original copy, but I bought it off eBay, but it was years after I heard Beyond the Unknown. Probably 6 or 7 years after that. So I've had Serpent Temptation for quite some time now, easily a good 15 years I've owned it. But it was definitely later because, yeah, there wasn't the no Opprobrium or how the fuck you pronounce that. Shit is so goddamn annoying too when it comes out. It's got the alternate dumbass fucking name, especially a fucking name I can't even goddamn pronounce. Sure, fucking 50% of you are like, what are you talking about? Dumb. Easy as fuck to pronounce. I haven't saying it right. It's fine. I thought the goddamn name was dumb. Granted, I almost kind of wish that was the name of the band. Like that's what they started off as, and it wasn't Incubus, and it was that, but I could pronounce it because the truth be told, that's probably why I don't own a Serpent Temptation T-shirt because I would easily wear one. Because dude, you wear that, you go out and you fucking about. Not that I care what people think, but I don't need a fucking unwanted canoe-ness automatic. They're gonna think it's that fucking I don't even know the songs they sing, but I know I've heard the radio fucking Incubus. You know goddamn well you're gonna get a canoe that's gonna fucking think that. So you're just asking for that, and then now you're no, it's not that. Oh, there's another one. Well, there's actually like 5 other ones, but I definitely would expect your dumbass to fucking know that. So now again, dude, I just don't like getting in that unwanted conversation to when you're just starting a conversation with by the way, a complete fucking stranger. It's one thing if you're at a family function or an event and there's that uncomfortable silence, and really try to make conversation. I don't do that, but I understand why someone would. So they're, oh, so what's the shirt say? Because they're just uncomfortable. They can clearly see we got nothing in common, so they're looking for something to talk about. I get it because you're kind of forced in that environment with that person. But when you go out of your way at a bar, a restaurant, a grocery store, you go at the gym, you go up to the person, you do not need to talk to them whatsoever. Talking to them about something you clearly know nothing about, it's like, dude, I'm not in the mood to fucking talk to you about a subject that you know nothing about. You're not fucking interested. You're not going to be interested after the fucking conversation. And I got to fucking spell out the goddamn ABCs to let you know. I got to teach you who fucking Overkill and Hyrax are. Shit like that. I got to let you know, oh, it's not the same Incubus, even though I give you it's the same name and there's a legible logo. But for starters, if you're a fan of the fucking douchebag goddamn Incubus on the radio, covers look like. That's just like I don't go up to somebody and let's not think of a band that I'm a super fan of, but a fan of, right? Let's think of who's a band that I like but I don't fucking love them. For example, Gorguts. Like them, don't love them, right? I don't randomly go up and say, "Is that a Gorgut?" Like for example, let's just say I saw a Gorguts logo. And I can tell it's a completely different fucking logo cover and there's like a flower or some fucking bullshit. Maybe Gorguts is a bad example because they have a bunch of fucking albums. I don't know who it is, but somebody the caliber that I like about as much as them, right? That I'm kind of familiar with. Asphyx, let's say even fucking better because I get a general idea. But I don't listen to every album, don't own every album, right? If there was another thing, Asphyx, I could see the logo is not the same and the cover designs, there's like flowers and fucking rainbows and a horse and fucking pony on it. I'm like, huh, I like Asphyx. Last One on Earth is a fucking banger. Wasteland of Terror is my favorite song, in case you haven't given a fuck. Seeing this, different logo, different everything, same name, I would automatically put, I don't know what this is, but this is not the same Asphyx. This is either a movie, this is a book, this is a band as well, but a different genre, different band. Everything just has the same name. I would automatically put 2 and 2 together. And I'm not the hugest Asphyx fans. I like The Rack and I like Last One on Earth, and they don't get a ton of spins, but I own them and I like them, right? But even that, the fact that I'm just that much of a degree of a fan, I don't need to see the rest of the catalog. I'm like, oh no, that's something fucking different. These canoes, fucking Incubus, why can't they figure that out? Look at it, oh, this is some kind of like demonic looking fucking art. I like the band Incubus. They wouldn't do that. This is, same name, but is that the same one? How do you not know if you're a fan? How you have no idea what their covers look like? Do you listen to Metallica too and you just have no idea what Master of Puppet covers look like? Just no clue? That's just shit that gets fucking annoying too. So, again, you're wearing that fucking shirt. I almost kind of wish that Opprobrium or whatever's the name, because their logo, you wear a fucking banger t-shirt like that, you're asking for unwanted fucking attention from idiots you don't want to talk to. And again, now you're teaching them who fucking Overkill is. It's like, why are we even talking, dude? So, but yeah, no, great fucking thrash album. I didn't consider death metal at all, to be honest with you. Rodney Barr, what's he talking about with Rush? With all due respect to the influence they had on other bands, the very first time I heard Rush, I really thought Geddy Lee was a girl singing. I can kind of see that. To be honest, yeah, that's when. Yeah, I don't know. Dude. It seems like even if I go to a goddamn metal party, which I don't go to often, every time I go there, man, why is there just a bunch of dad rock playing? Like I get it when I'm at an event, and it's usually going to be a family event, and if there's a music playing, which there rarely is, but sometimes there's a family function I go on, either my side or the side or whatever, and music's occasionally playing. I get it because no one else is there fucking listening to fucking metal. I'm the only one, right? Fucking get it. I'm the outlier, and so I wasn't asked to provide the tunes. Well, you're at events, and I've been to them. I've been to them so many times, but it's not like a very many things that I go to, like metal parties. It's not exactly a party, it's an event where there's metal people there. You go there, there's some. Why is there fucking dad rock on? Why? Everyone here claims they listen to metal. And again, it's like, well, maybe it's a bunch of black metalers there. Maybe it's more death metal here. Maybe it's grindcore. Okay, then just put on the universal shit that if you don't like, you're a fucking canoe. Put on Venom. Put on Merciful Fate. Put on Hyrex. Put on fucking Overkill. Put on Creator. Put on fucking Sodom. The mandatories. Put on Show No Mercy. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you think that's just deplorable garbage, just get what the fuck are you doing here then? You damn sure don't like the goddamn metal in general. Like you should at least like some of that. At the very least, think, oh, this is a respectable album. I mean, I'm not like a huge Annihilator fan. I think it's okay, like Alice in Hell and stuff. I don't like know it, and I don't love it, but it's pretty good. But if it's playing on a party, oh yeah, makes sense. Solid metal album. I don't own it. I don't love it. I don't know it. I can't fucking air guitar it. But it's a respectable, solid goddamn metal album. Why isn't that on? Why is Rush on? Why the fuck is Rush on? Why? Why? Somebody please tell me why. My dad and grandpa are not here. Why am I listening to this? Happens every fucking time. The only time it wouldn't happen, it's gonna be a party, bro. Every day's a party. Back in the fucking Baxter days at Extreme Music, when you go in the shop, it was always brutal shit playing. Always. I never even fucking heard goddamn Merciful Fate, Venom, Metallica, Slayer, Sadist. I never even heard any of that. Hell, I never even heard fucking the big boys, Morbid Angel, Cannibal, Deicide. It was brutal shit. Now, again, I've said it before, told the story. Is it a possibility when I walked there? Majority of the time when I went there, a show is going on. So maybe Brian purposely had that on the background, or Mutant Mike, R.I.P., had on the background, kind of like to advertise bands that they were either releasing, stuff like Regurgitation, Reinfection, Lividity, because they were playing bands of that nature. But they'd also have sometimes Aborted on, Devourment, Blessing, Decapitated. But he was also stocking a lot. And I'm actually kind of curious. I never asked him. Like back in the day, like Brian, like when Purity of Perversion by Aborted, great fucking record album. And they go canoe after that goddamn Engineering the Dead. Second album. First two albums, bangers and motherfucker. In case anybody comes over and says anything stupid. If you like brutal shit, sick shit, extreme shit, brah. First two Aborted. Do not miss out. Don't let that canoeness fucking fool you that you see now. It looks deathcore as a motherfucker. You go to any show and you just see those fucking big fucking neck to fucking crotch goddamn print shirts, football fucking jersey font on the back, and you could just tell it looks very, very deathcore. Don't get me wrong, the band's cringe as a motherfucker in the last goddamn going on 20 fucking years. Those first two albums are fucking killer. Fucking slay some fucking canoes. And it was gore grind that sounded like nobody. And Savin's vocals sound like nobody. Anyway, shit like that. I'm curious how many copies of something like that they would stock. Was it 5? Was it 10? Was it 20? My educated guess, and I never actually thought about it till right now, is they probably stocked more of that than he did of like maybe the New Emperor or something. just because that's what he catered to. So I'm assuming they did trades for it. He wasn't getting it wholesale. He was trying to Bladed Records titles for it. Never asked, but I'm kind of curious because, for example, that's where I picked up Purity of Perversion, the first Aborted album. That was the only thing that was out. Engineering the Dead wasn't even out yet. It was being played in the shop. I'm like, "Ooh, this is fucking great." I'm like, "Who's this?" It's Aborted. It's right there. Boom, picked it up. So maybe that's why always brutal shit was on. But Brian would always have, bring your buds, bro, and smoke a bowl. You know what I mean? There's a party going on, that type of shit. And you went in there was actual metal, goddamn playing. Brutal shit. That's the only scenario when I go to a goddamn party, it's metalheads, bro. Maybe one other exception, but honestly, I can't even think what that fucking exception is. Every time I go there, I'm like, why is dad rock on, man? My dick fucking itches right now. Why is there goddamn dad rock? I want to hear banging fucking metal. My dad's not here. Shut that shit off. That always annoyed the fucking piss out of me. Magated Dazzle-Tory. I'm sure I'm butchering that, bro, but it's like one big long ass fucking word with like 5 words in there. Negated Sultry or some shit. I don't know. You know the fuck you are, anyways. Or at least if you don't, by my fucking pronunciation, you probably will by this question. It's a little bit of longy, but I hear some bands being pronounced. Brought up that I don't think I've ever brought up on this channel that I'm kind of a fan of. Not a vid-related comment. Just thought I'd stop and talk a little bit about this band I came across, Headhunter Death Cult, or known as he put Headhunter DC. That's what the DC stands for. Yes, I'm familiar with from there, from Brazil. Seriously, how have I not heard this? Holy shit. Man, these guys reminded me a lot of that album, Laws of Scourge by Sarcophago. Did it? I gotta go respin it. It didn't remind me of Laws of Scourge. But, both from Brazil. Turns out they are from Belo Horizonte. Didn't know the exact location, but I knew Brazil. What a sound. Fucking sick, brutal, off the rails, epic riffs. True brutality, if you ask me. That rough, classic sound of 80s black and thrash with epic apocalyptic drumming. Fucking love the cover of Morbid Visions. Does anyone else dig this album, Punishment at Dawn? What about you, J-Dog? What do you think of this band? I have always only known 2 albums by them. And I can place the covers, and I can't think, was there, and I also see Darkness or something. And it's funny because we got LPs of that one. That was the first one I heard. I remember being on like a slipcase CD out of Brazilian pressing version of it. And I always put it in. It was a good thing. It was a good disc, and I liked it, but I didn't get many spins. It's kind of like I always forgot about it. And I remember the LPs came in maybe 3 years ago, 5 years ago. This shit all blurs together. But I was like, holy shit, I don't forget Death Calls. Like, you don't see that stuff come out. And I couldn't tell if it was a recent pressing or if we just got some old stock or some shit like that. But I thought it was cool seeing that come in, like refreshing. Like, oh shit. I picked this disc up when I was like probably 17, 18. Some of that area is probably when I first heard that. Some of that area. And then, yeah, say whatever, we got LPs in 3, 4 years ago. I'm well in my 30s. So it's like 20 years later, right? Or close to 20 years. So it's just kind of cool seeing that shit come out. I was like, oh, I didn't, like, even though anybody even else cared about it. There's certain things that come through. I'm like, oh, it's cool to see, other people know about this shit or like it. I thought the same thing when I talked about that band Diabolic. The City of the Dead demo came out on 12-inch vinyl. That's like, that's like a J-Dog. Like, fuck yeah, I would like to see this come out. That was something I would like to put out. And another random label does it. I'm like, oh, it's like someone actually, fuck yeah. It's about time. Someone else actually knows what the fuck's up. Because they usually don't. It's always talking about the same goddamn fucking same shit. So, no, Head Out to Death Cult, good band. If you never heard them out, Devils, check them out. But I'm not going to sit there and say I'm the biggest fucking fan. But yeah, good shit. Yeah, with the 19-minute mark, see if we get another goddamn quickie in here. I'm not seeing too many goddamn question marks. I've seen a lot of general surgery talk, so I don't know what the fuck we said about them. Other than the goddamn greatness, I'm sure. What else needs to be said? Like, there you go. I would take general surgery and necrology any day of the week over Head Out for Death Cult. Let's just put it that way. Antonio, so this kind of relates to the topic of it. Well, not kind of, it is. The topic of the video. That's at the top. Perfect. Antonio Zamora. Perfect opportunity to ask some questionable people to name 7 Cannibal songs is definitely going to be on their next tour with Mayhem. Yep, it's all that. But I saw no goddamn Cleveland date, so that kind of, as far as saying pisses me off, but it's annoying, that's for sure. Lineup is solid, but with Cannibal Mayhem and Blood Incantation or Snore Incantation on there performing, there's going to be canoes out the wazoo at those shows. See, the thing is, that's another thing, and actually didn't think of this just till now. When I see somebody like Blood Incantation on there, well, I'm not crazy. I don't hate them, but I'm not crazy about them either. It's just something I don't need. It's just like, yeah, just some hipster, boring death metal that I personally don't care about, but I don't hate them or have anything against them. It's a hell of a lot more respectable than that goddamn tweencore shit. But even like when you see people like, Cannibal's bringing on the tweencore, so it's going to bring the douches. I guess the reason it didn't bother me as much when Cannibal brings those up, like you said, Blood Incantation is going to draw some canoes. Dude, I've never, even over 20 years ago when I first seen Cannibal, the canoes are automatic. That's 100% guaranteed. They're going to be there no matter what. Because Cannibal draws fucking canoes. Mayhem draws canoes. So you got those two bands alone. Even though it's just Cannibal Mayhem, there was definitely going to be canoes there. It just flat out is. When Mayhem headlined at the goddamn, a few years ago, they just did the entire Day Mysterious Downtown's Alma. I was there. It was packed to the fucking gills. There's canoes there. Total fucking canoes. Now, not so much the sidewards cap shit, but kind of just those fucking hippie ass fucking, those goth hipsters. I guess it's the best fucking way. Not the regular 90s goths, but kind of like the goth hipsters. Put in the comments, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. That's the best way I can describe them. Where you like, they'll bring up, like, you'll bump into him every now and then. I bumped into him a couple times. One of them actually was Panini. He's a nice guy and shit like that. Didn't get his name. Well, he probably told me his name, but I know this a few years ago. And he's talking about how he loves black metal and shit like that. And virtually everything he's mentioning was shit. I was like, I never even heard of this, man. And he played the only one he brought up that I knew who was Peste Noir. But he looked very, very hippie. And a lot of the bands he was bringing up, they sounded hippie, and he's kind of like showing me images on his phone. He's so excited to show me. It's like, this just looks like artsy fartsy hipster shit. And I was like, but I haven't heard of any of these. Like, when I hear you're so into black metal, I figured minimally it's going to be some stuff that even if it's bands I'm not even crazy about, that I was going to hear about. But I mean, dude, he wasn't even bringing up stuff like Emperor, Satiricon, Gorgoroth. I mean, he wasn't even mentioning that. There's a bunch of crap. I was like, I literally do not know what this is. I'm going to assume this is some 2010 and up. And quite frankly, if your band started in 2010 or up, you are a new band, in my opinion. What are you talking about? That's 2010, dude. That was literally last night. So that's a new fucking band. And I'm just assuming, for the most part, probably shit I don't fucking care about. But there was a lot of those guys at fucking Mayhem. I can tell you right now that it was packed to the gills, Mayhem. And I'm at all the goddamn metal shows. Hell, going to goddamn Pro Fanatica tonight. I can tell you, so I'm at all the real metal Cleveland shows within reason. I mean, I might miss a show here and there. Definitely, I don't miss shit up that I really, really like. I can tell you that. I'm at all of them. Why am I at a show with 500 people and it's like 80% of the people I've never seen before? Never seen you before. Don't know who you are. That tells me everything I need to go. No. I'm at all the shows for the last goddamn fucking 25 years, literally since 1998, at vast majority of them. If I don't recognize you, that doesn't mean I'm not going. That means you're not fucking going. So it attracts those goddamn fucking people too. So Blood Incantation, how more canoed up is it going to fucking be? You know what I mean? It's going to be, you're not going to notice a goddamn difference. So I guess that's kind of why I don't care too much when these crappier bands are on a Cannibal package. Now, granted, I preferred it's a tour of all shit that I like. That would be what I would prefer, but and email the dog and ask him for his want list. So that's not how it goes down. Comes what you do for the Godbots by the morning. Later, goddamn it.